Okay. So good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining our program today. I'm guessing you all already know that we have launched our Super Topper policy last year. And we have also launched our term policy along with Zopa. Today we have from Zopa Mr. Budayan Paul, who's the business head at Zopa, and we have worked very closely with Budayan to design this program specially for alumni associations. I'm so happy to let you know that this program has a new improved version for 2024. We have exciting contents and a new negative list that will be shared with you by Budayan. So please, we have put everyone on mute. So please do text your questions in the chat when there is the Q&A session going on. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Budayan.
Thanks, Nishani, and thanks everyone for joining in. Good amount of participation I can see. Mohit, if you can hear me, kindly keep the presentation ready. I can see that you've just joined. Thanks, Nishani, and good evening, everyone. So last year we had launched the Super Top-Up Insurance Program for IIT Madras alumni and family. And if you would have looked at the kind of coverages that we had come in with last year, was phenomenal, I would say, because they were not available in the market. The 1 year wait periods, entry age up to 85 years, and ability to bring in parents and parent-in-laws parallelly. So that was a kind of a product which was earlier not heard of. And IIT Madras Alumni Association, being one of the visionaries, visionary alumni associations, they had agreed to launch this program for the alumni and family. So we had launched it last year, and this time we are back, with the renewal. The system is already live. You can access currently as we speak. You can go into your IIT Madras Alumni Association portal, and from there you can come into the program per se by clicking on the insurance button and then the Zopa insurance button, and then you can get into our program. Now, so ideally, there is some good news with which I would want to start the presentation with today. The good news is, if you remember, last year there was a negative list at entry, and pardon me, and that negative list at entry, if we talk about, had 14 or 15 illnesses, which chronic illnesses, which if I had today as an alumnus, I would not have been able to enter the program, or if one of my family members had it, they would not be able to enter the program. Now, I wanted to start the presentation on the note that we have a revised negative list. And on this revised negative list, as we speak, there are certain things which were a no-no last year. They are allowed, this year. And a couple of things, like if I start with cardiac, if I had a cardiac history earlier, last year, if I was wanting to get into the Super Topper program for IITMAA, I would not have been able to. But this year, I will be able to come in, even if I have some cardiac history, which might include some angioplasty done or some cardiac surgery done. I would say this is a big win, because in the market, it is very, very difficult to secure, insurance when I have had a cardiac history. And in this case, all the alums and their family will be able to get into this program, even if they have a cardiac history. Last year, this was not there. This year, there is this improvement, phenomenal improvement, which has happened. And additionally, I would also want to add that, so one is an active cancer. So active cancer cases do remain as negative list, obviously. But there were a lot of cases where, people reached back to us and they had said that, I had cancer 10 years back, it's not relapsed. I had cancer 5 years back, it's not relapsed. So why am I not allowed to get into the program? So if I had been diagnosed with any kind of cancer, it was again a negative list last year. This year, cancer, if I had been diagnosed of cancer and it has not relapsed, since last 5 years. That's the parameter. Not relapse since last 5 years on cancer. Even those people can come in, which is phenomenal, because ideally then in the market, if I utter the word cancer, straight away they come ahead with policy cancellations. If I have already diagnosed something like that, in this case, the two big wins this year was that all the cardiac cases who could not come in can come in this year, and all the cancer cases where it has not relapsed since last 5 years, they can come in. Now, in addition to that, these are the major wins. In addition to that, sleep apnea was a negative list. Now they are allowed. Hypothyroidism was a negative list. Now they are allowed to get into the program. Autoimmune disorders, they are allowed now to get into the program. So ideally now, earlier that list was a 14, 15 ailment list. Now it has got revised to sort of 5 categories broadly. Currently, any active cancer cases on any tumor or benign tumor of liver, heart, kidney, lung, that's a negative list. Any kind of chronic kidney, any kind of chronic liver, that's a negative list. Any kind of paralysis, that's a negative list. And any kind of lung disorders or disabilities, that's a negative list. So, barring that, anything under the sun, we can come into this program. We can come into this program with multiple pre-existing diseases. There is no limit to that. And diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol being the normal ones, but the ones who has an effect, but along with it, the other ones that I have mentioned also. I would say that this is a phenomenal thing this year in terms of the revision of the negative list and the impact. So normally insurance companies would come and would want to increase the premium because the risk goes up phenomenally if these people get into the program. But we've been able to control the cost also. The premiums have not gone up. So good news with that revised negative list, cardiac, cancer cases, relapse not last since last 5 years, sleep apnea, hypothyroidism, autoimmune deficiency, which were all part of negative lists, are now allowed. So on this note, I will quickly request Mohit to move on to the next slide. So so the IIT Madras Alumni Association Super Top Up Health Insurance Plan is underwritten by an insurance company called Care Health Insurance. It was earlier Religare. It is the same insurer as last year. All of you who had got into the program last year had a 1-year wait period on declared pre-existing diseases. This year, you will see that in your policy, you will have a 0-day wait period for whatever you've declared. So we expect a lot of claims this year, and that's good as long as it's helping the alumni and family. There is no third-party administrator or TPA. It's directly managed by CARE. You will have a service line where you can talk to people at Zopper, and you will have human contacts at Zopper who would help you to move across. This is one slide which we had explained, like what is a super top-up. So most of you would have a basic or a base health insurance plan from either your employer or on your own. This is a super topper program, which is the second layer insurance program, and it sits right on top of any other insurance program, and it can actually work on its own as well. Which means that today, as an alumnus, if I don't have any insurance program, which might be possible, I've come back from abroad, I have no insurance program currently. Based on the deductible that you choose, so the sum insured options, the coverage options start from 10 lakhs and goes up to 1 crore. The deductible options are 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs, and 10 lakhs, 4 deductible options. Now, what is a deductible? Sum insured, I explained, it's the coverage. Deductible is the amount up to which the program doesn't trigger or triggers beyond my deductible chosen. So basically, in insurance parlance, we fix our deductibles based on our base plan coverage for this plan. Psychologically, if I'm covered by my employer for 5 lakhs and I have no other insurance program, I would want to choose a slightly lower deductible, say 3 lakhs here. 3 lakhs is a good option here. And why would I want to choose a slightly lower deductible? Because not everything will get paid in my other program. So it is better that I enter into this program at the earliest and ensure that everything gets taken care of. Couple of fantastic things that this program has, which we will talk about, would be the room rent capping, no co-payments, no ailment-wise cappings and all. We will talk about that as we move across. So this is a super topper program. This is primarily your second layer insurance program. This is not dependent on any existing insurance base program. It has its own coverages. It has its own pillars of strength. And up to the deductible chosen, either you pay through your pocket, submit the payment receipts, and this program triggers, or you submit the payment receipts through your insurance, and this program triggers. So please understand that at the time of claim, we do not need the bills. We would only need the payment receipts. And based on the payment receipts, we can take it forward. Let's move on to the next slide, Mohit. This is an example how a top-up and a super top-up works. So ours is a super top-up, which means that you need to cross the deductible only once in the policy year. In case of a top-up, you need to cross the deductible with every single claim. Hence, if you are on a top-up, your chances of being able to claim becomes negligible. In the case of super top-up, your chances to claim becomes high because you just need to cross the deductible only once. And after that, all other claim can move into this program. These are some comparison coverages. You'll be able to see that. Let's move on, Mohit. Yeah. So when I talk about the features, how it is different from the market and all. So this program is a non-medical program. It's a declaration-based program, which means that you need not, submit your medical reports. You can just declare, and you can declare whatever you have been diagnosed of, wherever there is a medical history. The entry age is up to 85 years, and anybody who comes in up to 85 years is covered for life, as long as the renewals do happen. You can cover your parents, two set of parents. You can cover your two set of parent-in-laws, and you can cover your immediate family, which is alumni, spouse, and up to 4 kids. The sum insureds that you can choose start from 10 lakhs and go up to 1 crore. And ideally, if you tell me I have 23 years of experience, guiding people on making the right choices. So I would logically tell you that when you choose your sum insured, you should ideally think 5 years ahead. 5 years ahead, what would be the sum insured that you would look at? And the deductible, preferably choose a lower deductible, because this program is a fantastic program which does not have any co-payments, which does not have any ailment-wise cappings, and the room rent capping is any kind of room other than suite. So the room rent limit is something that if we misunderstand in a program, we might have to shell out as high as 50% of the insurance bill from our pocket. And in this case, we wanted to take away that problem, and we have not defined the program by a room rent capping like a 1% of sum insured or 2% of sum insured, which might be a 5,000, 6,000. We have said that you can get into any kind of room in the hospital other than suite, and there is no proportionate reduction. Whatever is the bill, it's going to get paid for. Normally in the market, it's difficult for people beyond 60 years to get hold of an insurance program. In this case, up to 85 years. And as we speak in the market, they have a lot of co-payments in the senior citizen programs. There is no such co-payment here. Co-payment means that basically, if the co-payment is at 20% in the program, for a bill of 1,20,000 is to be paid. Kindly mute yourselves, please. If you have any questions, please park them on the chat window. That's a small request. And if you look at the wait periods on pre-existing diseases, they are phenomenal because there is no such product in the market which gives you only a 1-year wait period on your declared PEDs. The market stands at 36 months, 48 months, and all. By far, the best product that is available, allowing immediate family, parents, parent-in-laws, completely inclusive program, non-medical, no co-payment, no capping, extended room rent limit. I would say that even if you go to any B2C website, compare, you're not going to get this. If you're not going to get this, getting now, so that at least this year, you can, in case there are any PEDs, you can cross them by next year, and then this goes lifelong. Another thing that you should remember when you get into an alumni program is that an alumni is a lifelong alumni. It is not an employer program that you join and then when we move out, we lose our insurance coverage. Once you get into this program, this is going to remain with you. So make a conscious choice. If I give you my example, I'm an IIM Bangalore alumnus, and I am the one who has conceived this product as an insurance product. So for my alma mater also, I was able to roll a similar kind of an alumni insurance program, and proud to say that I am covered for 75 lakhs at a 5 lakh deductible. For my parents, I picked up 30 lakhs at a 5 lakh deductible. I was not able to get insurance coverage for my parents. My dad is 70, my mom is 69, and they only had 2 lakhs of insurance. Now they are well covered. So when you look at the kind of benefits that this program offers, and a big thank you to all of you who had got in last year. This year, you are at a 0 day wait period, and then, tension free. We talked about this. We have also talked about the coverages. So let's move on, Mohit. Right. We have also talked about, so let's stay on this slide, because when I was talking about, you were not able to see the slide. So this is the revised negative list, which is applicable from this year, which means that last year, all heart and cardiovascular disorders, disorders of brain, spinal cord, neuromuscular disorders, pancreatitis, sleep apnea, disorders of immunity or autoimmune diseases. So autoimmune diseases, please note that is by default an exclusion. Yeah, last year also it was an exclusion. Here, disorders of pituitary, adrenal, parathyroid, any kind of growth and mental retardation, and disorders of blood. All of these were a part of negative list last year. This year, we all can come in at one fixed sum insured and one fixed deductible. Now, since the risk is high, very, very high, I would say, for people who would come into this program, the insurer had agreed for one sum insured that we can come in at a 20 lakh sum insured at a 7 lakh deductible. If you look in the market, I cannot get an insurance program even if I have any one of this. If you look at the current negative list is any kind of cancer or benign tumor, which I talked about, any chronic liver disease, any chronic kidney disease, any type of paralysis in any hand, legs, body, and any kind of chronic lung diseases. If I have any one of those, I still remain in the negative list. But if I was on the right-hand side of the list, now I will be able to get in. Another thing, if the alumni is part of the negative list, the family can come in accordingly. The tech system is built that way. Let's move on, Mohit. So the list of specific diseases, which also has a wait period of 1 year, you can refer to that. Let's move on. Claims can be both cashless and reimbursement. Let's move on, Mohit. Yeah, so you will see this slide where you can get in support. You have 4 levels. The 4th is mine. The 3rd is Mohit's. There are 2 more levels, Ritik and Sujit. So Sujit manages the ops part of it. Mohit manages the BD. I am the BD. So you have support everywhere from Zopper and my team. I lead the team. So don't worry, if it reaches me, then my team is not doing the work. We will ensure that we come back to you with a resolution. These are human connects, not chatbot or any kind of AI numbers, because we understand that in insurance, human connects do matter. And we can move on, Mohit. I think we're done with the presentation here. We also want to talk about another program which is parallelly running. So once you log into the portal, you will be able to see 2 buttons. One is a super top up, the other one is a group term insurance program. This has been running for last 10-15 days, and that's also picking up quite well. Almost 350 members have logged into the program and are looking at buying it. Quite a few people have already bought it. So what is a term plan? Let's move on, Mohit. What is a term plan? A term plan is primarily a program which insures you for life. In the market, the challenges are that they are expensive. Too many documents are required. So if I today say that I need a 1 crore of sum insured, the insurance company, all hells will break loose. They will ask me kya kya hai, and they'll ask me all kinds of medical reports, and then they will take 2 months to decide. And then they will come back and they will say, fine, we might not be able to give you, or we may be able to give you. There is no certainty on premium rates. In this case, there are certainty. Our rates are cheaper than the market. No medical exams required in our case, which is normally a requirement in the market. So ideally, the term plan gives you a chance to pick up to 10 times of your CTC or annual income, whatever you want to declare as. And up to 1 crore sum insured, it's a simply flat kind of a structure. You will not face too much, time. You will not take too much time. In case you want to go to 2 crores or 5 crores, you might be asked to some more questions, depending on what we declare. Day one coverage, there's no waiting period. Flexibility for you to choose additionally up to 10 times of your CTC. So your employer might be covering you up to some. You might have picked up a term plan. You can actually pick up another 10 times of your CTC here. Lowest, these are the pricings are lower than the market. You have long-term policy options, 5, 10, and 15 and 20-year term. So I can choose a 20-year term and pay for 20 years. And it's an end-to-end digital journey. In case you're facing any issues anywhere, you have the support people to reach out to. Do reach out to Ritik, do reach out to Mohit, us, and we will take care of it. It's a death cover, and the maximum entry age is 55 years, and the maximum age of the cover will be 60 years. So for the health insurance program, we were able to negotiate with the insurer and get up to 85 years at entry. But understand that term life is a high severity program. One claim can be of crores. In that case, the insurers are very, very cautious. In this case, they did agree up to 60 years of coverage. So up to 60 years of coverage, we would stand to remain covered in the program. So if I enter at the age of 55, I would be able to choose a term of 5 years, so up to 60 years. Next, Mohit. Yeah. So we've talked about financial underwriting. We've talked about enrollment. So in the enrollment window is already open. You can go and click on that. You will have to submit your DGH, which is Declaration of Good Health. And on the Declaration of Good Health, some additional questions might come in based on whatever I click as yes. Please declare properly so that, in the case of term plan, it is basically the benefit goes to the family, because if it happens, I am not there. My family has to benefit out of it due to my absence. So do declare everything what is there, and let the insurance company come back and give you a decision. That is way, way better than not declaring anything and the claim getting rejected at the end. So let's keep that in mind. Let's move on, Mohit. Right. So these are some comparisons across the, if you look at, if you are a male smoker, 30 years of age, it's a 34% cheaper than the L1 in the market. If I am a female smoker, it's a 32. That's for 50 lakhs basically. If I am a female smoker, it goes down to 26%. Another additional thing that you would see that for the female alumni who would come in and try to choose on the group term life program, there is an interesting thing where your sum insured basically goes up by a particular percentage automatically. So when you get in, when you log in, you would be able to see that. That's something really good on the female side of it. If you are a male smoker, if you are a male non-smoker, you can see that your premiums can be as low as 48%, close to 50% lower than the market. These are indications from the L1. So preferably up to 1 crore cover, you'll be able to go into the program without any kind of difficulty. It's a cakewalk straight through. Do have a look. If you have any queries, do let us know. But you can go up to 10x of your CTC. Choosing a 5 crore cover, yeah, fine. But they would ask more questions. The system would open up. It would ask more questions in terms of your health, in terms of your any ailments which I would have had, and then they would do. And in case suppose I declare too many things, there might be a video MER call. This is for the term plan that I'm talking about. There might be a video MER call where the underwriter might want to talk to you and understand what have you declared. Barring that, it's a completely end-to-end digital process, which is not there again in the market. In the market, the term plans basically happen that the lead generation happens digitally. So if I go into a B2C website, I show my interest, I choose a plan, and then somebody calls me, and then the documents start moving physically. In this case, even for my financial proof document of income, I'll just have to upload it. That's how it is. These are the details that you need to fill up. Do visit the portal and check on that. Let's move on. And you can avail an ATD tax benefit on the super top up and an ATC tax benefit on the term plan. Right. So that being there, let's move on to the questions. Thanks, Mohit, for sharing. So, Mr. Sitaram, the first question. Okay, Nishani, should we move to the questions? We are done with the presentation.
Yes, we can move to the questions. Mohit has sort of answered a few questions already.
Okay,
So I'm not going to go through those questions.
sure.
Yeah. So I have a personal insurance plan for my family. If I want to switch to this, what should be the deductible? Do I need to continue with my present insurance also? This is from
Uh,
Bagrahi Natasha Sharma.
Yeah, so good question. So ideally, this is a second layer or a super top-up program. So my suggestion is that like you can choose up to 1 crore of sum insured here. I'm not sure if you already have a 1 crore of sum insured, very rare to find. If you do not have a super top-up and you are talking about your base personal insurance program, then I would recommend there's no question of switching. So if you can choose your deductible based on to what amount you're covered for in your base program. Like if you're covered for 5 lakhs, I gave you an example, choose the lower deductible option than that. Normally, human psychology is if I'm covered for say 5 lakhs, I want to choose a deductible of 5 lakhs. Don't do that. Choose a lower deductible here because not everything will get paid in your base. You can move on to this program earlier. So you need to continue your present insurance if it's your base program. This super top-up program is not dependent on you having any insurance program as well. So if you choose a deductible of 3 lakhs and for the first 3 lakhs in the policy year, you'll have to pay from your pocket. Then say you choose up to 50 lakhs, the next 50 lakhs get paid from this program. That's as plain and as simple as that. Over to you, Nishani.
Yeah, thanks. The next one is are all plans available for NRIs as well as any other plans for them of scope?
So NRIs can pick up, this super top-up program, even if they are not part of India, they can pick it up for themselves and they can also pick it up for their family. And the data that we have proves that most of the NRIs travel back to India during the year, and in case they want to get any surgeries or any medical treatments done, they do get it done in India because the costs are way cheaper in India. So yes, this program is available for NRI. So Super Tower program is available for NRI. So term program is also available. Yeah, Nishani, over to you.
Yeah, so I think I've also covered Vinay's question for term plan. Can I enroll if my income is from abroad, right?
Yeah, so you will have to submit your income proof. There will be a stage where they'll ask for your income proof. Wahan pe you upload the income proof, and based on that, you'll get a decision.
Is there any waiting period for maternity-related hospitalizations or for delivery?
No, so maternity is not part of a super top-up program because the minimum deductible is 3 lakhs here. Maternity is something which is an event, 50, 60K, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, depending on what package you choose. So ideally, maternity is not covered in this program.
Yeah. So maternity is not covered. What is the last day to enroll for the term insurance?
So the term insurance has been open for almost 15 days now. The last date to enroll would be next week. Preferably in the case of term insurance, my request is it's all digital. Get into the portal, you will see 2 side-by-side buttons, one of super top up, the other one of term. Please look at both of them, and if you feel that you can go ahead, do go ahead today. Don't wait for the last minute kind of transactions. We have normally seen the last minute transactions do crash. And then problems do crop up. If you have time today, being a weekend, find it. If you have time next week, do it, but not beyond that. My request is the sooner the better.
I am currently living in India, but if I move abroad in future, will the super top-up be valid for my parents? Also, same question for term.
Yeah, so super top up, the geographical jurisdiction of claims is India. So ideally, it will be available as long as you keep renewing. So every year the program will come up for renewal, and as you keep renewing, you can only claim within the jurisdiction of India. So if your parents stay back in India, they can claim in India. You can also claim. You can also come back and claim in India. And term also, this is possible. But term only alumni can get, not the family. Super top-up, entire family can get.
Those who joined the program late, I think we'll have the recording put on YouTube for a couple of days. You can view that because it'll be difficult to go through the whole program again. But I leave it up to Budayan. Budayan, if you just want to once in a gist explain how Super Top-Up works and what is a deductible. Are two questions.
Sure. I would take 2 minutes and explain that, because now once you get into the portal, these are the two primary decisions that you would have to make a choice of. So Super Top-Up program is basically your second layer health insurance program. COVID scenarios have basically exposed us to very high medical costs. And we have seen coverages in, claims in alumni associations also, where, people have started claiming now for 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 55 lakhs. These are claims not of term. These are claims of health insurance. So when this kind of an event hits us, our base insurance program in India normally covers us, up to 3 or 5 lakhs or a 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs very rarely. Most of the employers cover us up to 3.5, 4 lakhs. 5 lakhs if your employer is covering, that would be good, I would say. But if you look at cost of one ailment, a heart surgery also is 6.5 lakhs, depending on which city I am in. Am I adequately covered for insurance as an individual today? Not at all. Absolutely not. And we feel that we are covered. And then multiple hospitalizations happening in the same year, either of mine or of my family members. And the family member, if it becomes as large as alumni, spouse, 4 kids, up to 2 parents and up to 2 parent-in-laws, look at the risk that we are carrying on our heads. And it's actually a risk, let me tell you, because the higher the age bracket of the person, like parents, parent-in-laws, they are in that bracket of risk. So when you look at and when you see that you're not adequately covered, then you would want to get covered. So when you do want to get covered, you would want to look at a program which helps you at the time of claims. So we came up with this very innovative second layer insurance program. It's called a super top-up and not a top-up, which I explained in the presentation. Because in the case of a super top-up, you need to cross the deductible only once in the policy period. In the case of a top-up, you need to cross, your deductible with every claim, which is actually not possible. So your chances of coming and claiming in top-up is almost negligible. Your chances of being able to claim in a super top-up becomes very high. Deductible is basically the amount up to which or beyond which your program will trigger. And I choose my deductible based on my current standing of insurance. So if I don't have any insurance today, this program will still work. But I will choose the lowest possible deductible, because up to first, say, lowest possible deductible in this program is 3 lakhs. So I would pay 3 lakhs and quickly get into this program. Pay 3 lakhs from my pocket, submit the payment receipt, and get into this program. If I am adequately covered by my employer, say 5 lakhs, and if I am covered by myself for 10 lakhs, and I have good amount of insurance coverage, say a 15 lakhs, I might want to pick up a 10 lakh deductible and maybe a higher sum insured like a 1 crore. Then for life, I am taken care of and my family is taken care of. Do understand that when you get into the program, you will have to make 2 conscious choices. One is the sum insured or the coverage. When you choose the coverage, think 5 years down the line, what kind of a coverage you might want and not get. So choose it today. And the deductible is basically a subset of how much I am insured for in the market normally. If I'm not insured for, no rocket science, choose the lowest deductible. If I'm insured for 5 lakhs, choose the lower slab, which might be a 3 lakhs. If I'm insured for 10 lakhs, choose 7 lakhs. So choose a slightly lower deductible, which allows you to get into this program faster and claim the entire lot.
There's an interesting question from Srinivas. What is the probability of this group life insurance closing or discontinuing in future?
This question can be applicable for both the Super Topper program that we are talking about, the group health, and the term life program that we are talking about. Understand that this is a group program and a retail kind of a thing where, the master policy holder is IIT Madras Alumni Association, and that's why we as alumni of IIT Madras can pick up this program. But we at the end are paying the premium, and hence we can get the tax benefits accordingly. So if this is a group program, the sustainability of the group program depends on the loss ratios. I have a 3-year experience currently on this product with IM Cozy Code, running hale and hearty, no increase in premium, has been running good on the loss ratios. The moment it happens that the number of people starts dwindling down in terms of coverage, in terms of enrollments, and the claims keep going up, the sustainability of the program comes into question. But if you look at group term life market, until and unless a black swan event like a COVID hitting us happens again, likely chance that this program would continue. The term plans are still continuing post-COVID. The only thing that has happened is the rates did go up post-COVID because worldwide the number of deaths had gone up. In the case of health, it would come down or zero down. In the case of life, it goes by the global kind of loss ratios. In the case of health, it would zero down on the group program that of IIT Madras Alumni Association. And if you see, we have created right balances like a 1-year wait period on the pre-existing diseases that we are coming in with, and the kind of balancing happening that only an IIT Madras alumni can come in because of the API integration that's done on the system, and not somebody who's my friend but not an IIT Madras alumni gets into the program, claims, and goes away. So we have set those kind of balancing markers, and we expect this program to remain sustainable. Currently, it's doing pretty well. Nishani, over to you.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. Gautam, you'll have to, there's no cost written on our website, as you have to go input your details, your date of birth, the combination that you want, the deductibles, the coverage, only then will you be able to see the costs. It's very difficult for us to put down a whole cost chart. Once you log in, add your details, you will be able to understand your premium.
Yeah, it's a
Thanks.
totally technology-driven program. So do get into the portal, do the permutation combinations, change the sum insured, change the deductible, see how your premium is changing, and make a conscious choice. That's how it is.
Thanks. Srinivasan has a question. I have a base policy plus a super top-up. Can I continue the super top-up with the present insurer as well?
So this super top-up, if you want to get into this program, is from Care Health. So if I understand the question correctly, you're asking if you want to continue with your existing super top-up. Yes, obviously you can, sir. Nobody can stop you. You might want to look at the coverages that your existing super top-up is providing and this super top-up is providing, and make a conscious choice. You can actually continue with 2 super top-ups as well. So there is no limit to we getting any health insurance coverage in India. So you can continue with multiple insurance programs as well.
We have the next question from Manaswini. Is health insurance one-time payment scheme or yearly payment? Manaswini, it's a yearly payment. You will have to pay a premium yearly. The next one is interesting. For a family plan, does each insured person need to cross the deductible?
No. So that's a good question. And I think I missed explaining that please understand that in this program, there are 3 buckets. So the bucket, anybody in that bucket needs to cross, the bucket crosses the deductible. How it is? The first bucket is alumni, spouse, and 4 kids. So if the alumni chooses 1 crore sum insured at a 5 lakh deductible, and the alumni himself or herself crosses that 5 lakh, the wife and kid can claim right away because the deductible is crossed in that bucket. If I talk about the second bucket, it's up to 2 parents. And if I talk about the third bracket, it's up to 2 parent-in-laws. And what is interesting is you can choose a different combination of sum insured and deductible in the 3 buckets itself. So there'll be 3 separate policies issued based on the sum insured and deductibles that you choose. Over to you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Yes, there is some question over here. When you say deductible is X lakhs, 5 lakhs, does it mean from the current policy we have to pay upfront 5 lakhs and then make the claim on super
Hmm.
top up?
That's right. That's right. So, for example, there can be one claim, there can be multiple claims in a year. Let me take the example of one claim, makes it simple and easy to make you understand. Say you have chosen 1 crore sum insured at a 5 lakh deductible in the IITMAA Super Topper program. In this case, if you have an existing base program up to 5 lakhs, you will have to claim it there. Submit payment receipts up to 5 lakhs here in this program because the deductible is 5 lakhs that you have chosen. And then suppose the claim is of 10 lakhs. So the first 5 lakhs goes from your base. The next 5 lakhs comes from your this super top up after you submit. Then all the other claims that might have hit your family on the family definition comes here post you have crossed the deductible and you can start claiming on that. In case of single claim, in case of multiple claims, it is easy to understand that you up to the deductible chosen, you just need to submit the payment receipt or the payment proof that you have made a payment up to your deductible for any claim for that policy year within that policy year. That's how simple it is. Over to you, Nishan.
Yeah. While considering the deductible, are the medical expenditure for both the insured aggregated or not? Where can we get the list of exhaustive diseases that are covered under the policy? Prashant, you can check everything on our portal. If you go through it and you take some time to log in and understand the policy, it's pretty simple. Also, there is an exhaustive list of diseases that can be and are not covered under the policy. Are hip replacements, knee replacements covered in the policy, Budayan?
They are covered.
They are covered. Do you consider expenditures towards covered diseases only for the deductible amount?
That's right.
Yeah. No, Shankar, deductible and copay are two completely different aspects. Deductible is something that you
Yeah.
have to cross before before you can even use your super topper plan. Which means if you select a 5 lakh deductible, you either cross that with your existing um, insurance scheme or you pay it from your pocket. After you cross that 5 lakhs, then you can show your super top up card in the hospital if needed, and then that will kick in. I hope I've cleared your doubt.
Yeah, and just to add, Nishani, co-payment comes at the time of claim, where suppose if my policy has a 20% co-payment, that would mean that if the bill is of 10 lakhs, for example, 2 lakhs is to be paid by me, then only the insurance will pay the balance 8 lakhs. So that's the difference between deductible and co-pay. Our program
Are
doesn't have
dental
any co-pay.
procedures covered?
Dental procedures are not covered. So dental procedures can get covered in case it's an accidental kind of injury and doctor advises some kind of surgery to happen. But otherwise, root canals and all, they are not covered.
Okay. Try the website. The PIN code is not being allowed. This is in Bangalore.
I think that's Rakesh's forte.
PIN code of what, Venkat Srinivas? I don't understand. You please connect with Rakesh because it's a pretty simple login and there's no PIN code that is being asked. Is hospitalization due to accidental insurance injuries covered?
Yeah, that's covered.
Shankar asked, does it mean that the cover under the base policy is the deductible? That's if you choose for it, Shankar. It could be. So if you have a base policy for 30 lakhs, you can still choose a deductible 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. That's completely up to you, Shankar.
So there is no direct link with me having a base policy and then trying to avail the super top up. I can also pay from my pocket to the extent that I feel I can pay and then come into the super top up. So the choice of deductible does not depend on me having a base program and also does not normally depend on to how much I am covered in the base program. But psychologically, if you decide, you would decide it the way we talked about that if I am covered in the base for 5, preferably go for a 3 lakh deductible and go for the highest possible sum insured that you can bear.
Okay, there's a question about the term insurance. If someone takes a 20-year plan as you mentioned, for unforeseen situations, the group insurance is not continued. Will the policy be terminated?
So, Vijay, I think it's Vijay Kumar's question.
Yes.
So, Vijay, in the case of a term plan, ideally you will make the choice today, but your policy will continue for 20 years if you have chosen a 20-year plan, because the insurance company will underwrite your risk for 20 years and give you a premium that you pay for next 20 years. So, in the case of a term, it is slightly different. Your program would continue even if this program doesn't continue, because you have already made a choice of 20 years, right? So next year, when you come in next year, you have already made a choice. So next year aapka, as such, there's no renewal which is going to happen. You have chosen a term plan of 20 years, you will keep paying it for 20 years. That's how it is. But for super top up, every year the renewal will happen and we will have to pay the premium every year. In your case also, you are paying the premium every year, but it's decided today. That's the difference.
So there's an
Sorry,
interesting interesting question from Prashant. Will disease coverage change over time? More worried about exits than new entries.
More worried about exits than new
What he
entries in
means is
terms
that
of.
existing diseases you're saying that is covered right now, but tomorrow you say it's not covered. Will that ever happen?
Okay, so how it happens is that once I'm into the program, please understand that cancer is not a negative list. So if I get into the program today without cancer, and then something happens tomorrow on cancer with me, I would stand to remain covered. So please understand that as long as I keep having diseases, insurance company will come back and reject me. That happens on the retail programs. That is why we wanted to configure a program like this, where the insurance company comes and formats it in the form of a group program. That's the benefit. I hope I'm able to explain.
Yeah, thank you. There's another interesting question from Satyadev. Are deductibles changeable to a different amount, lower or higher in future renewals?
Very good question. So I would originally think that if this is your first year, make a very conscious choice on what will be the sum insured and what can be the deductible. Because understand that if somebody has underwritten this risk, and today I come into this program, say at a 10 lakh deductible, 10 lakh deductible and 1 crore sum insured, and suppose I pay 10,000 rupees and I feel ki chalo theek hai. Next year, something happens in my family and I want to reduce the deductible. The normal human psychology is that when I'm trying to reduce my deductible, that means I'm more likely to claim. This concept in insurance is called adverse selection. Every insurance company runs away from these kind of adverse selection opportunities, so they will not allow us to change the sum insured or deductible next year. Make a conscious choice this year. You can reduce the risk, you cannot increase the risk, which means that today if I have chosen a 3 lakh deductible for 50 lakhs, next year I feel ki nahi, premium thoda zyada ho raha hai, I might increase my deductible. So increasing of deductible would be allowed because I'm reducing my risk. But if I'm reducing my deductible, then I'm increasing my risk. That's not allowed. So make a conscious choice today and we will continue. And the logic thumb rule, I said, 5 years down the line, what you need, choose it today.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. So without having any base policy, can one directly enroll for the super top?
Yes,
yes,
they
you
can.
Yeah. Prashant,
I think Prashant,
yeah. If cancer is covered in today's year, could it not be covered next year? I think you've not understood that concept, Prashant. It's cancer is covered. Could not it be covered next year? It will be covered next year as well. So I'm not really sure what your question is.
So I'll slightly explain with some more detail, Nishani, if you allow me here.
Sure. Please take it in. Yeah.
Yeah. So Prashant, just trying to give you more data. If cancer is covered in today's year and could not be covered next year, so I'll talk about two scenarios. Say, one scenario is that I do not declare anything because I don't have any diagnosis done. I don't have anything diagnosed, and I enter into the program. And after getting into the program, within that policy year, I am diagnosed of cancer. I would remain covered in this insurance program lifelong, despite having cancer. Second thing is I declare, cancer not relapse 5 years. I get into this program and I have cancer. I can still claim on that. So whatever I declare on, I only have a wait period of 1 year on that. Beyond that, I can claim. Whatever additionally I get as an illness stands to remain covered. It is not that insurance company will come back and say, you have cancer now, I will not offer you the program. It is the other way around. As I keep having illnesses, I stand to remain covered in the program. Understand the negative list that we talked about is at entry only. It is just a filter at entry. I hope I'm able to explain.
Thanks. Preeti, can deductible be covered by a second health insurance? Yes, most definitely it can. Gautam
Correct.
Mahajan. I just
Yeah.
tried the rate to get a rate and I was told at the end of the coverage not available. Why? Pre-existing disease are diabetes and blood pressure.
Yeah. So I think Gautam is talking about the term plan that he would have
Gautam,
gone
are you
into.
talking about the term plan?
Yeah, he has to be talking about the term plan because super top up does not have anything like this. If he declares pre-existing as blood pressure and diabetes super top up, he will be straight away into the program. Should be depending on what declaration he would have given, what I understand. On a case-to-case basis, Gautam can put an email with the DGH that he would have signed up, what all information he has given, Nishani. And if you get that email, do forward it to us. I will get it checked by the underwriter to come back why they are not able to give a decision. But this is definitely for the term plan.
Thanks. Amrita, is there a waiting period for covered pre-existing diseases?
Yeah, the waiting period is 1 year in our program.
So Murthy has a question. I have a base plan with super top up only for me, my wife, and 2 kids. Can I take IITMAA super top up just for my father and father-in-law and mother-in-law?
So see, Murthy, you're actually trying to do a very adverse selection, and this is going to affect others. Because the likely chances of you wanting to pick up an insurance program for them is either they would not have insurance or they are at the high risk bracket. So it is called adverse selection. So to counter that, you can pick up, but to counter that, you will have to at least pick up for yourself. That's the kind of risk bracketing that we have done. And the premiums are very cheap. So shouldn't be a problem for anyone.
Shriram has a question. I am interested in super top up for both me and my spouse. My question 1 is the super top up insured for each of us or collectively for both of us? I don't have any
Collect.
other.
Yeah, it is collectively for both of you, the sum insured that you choose. So if you don't have any insurance, you should straight away look at a 3 lakh deductible and maybe look at a, based on age bracket, maybe a 30 lakh or a 40 lakh kind of, or a 50 lakh kind of a sum insured. That would be enough for you. And it's a floater between you and your spouse. That's how it is. As you are 62, yes, you would not be eligible for the term plan. That's correct. Over to you, Nishani.
Yeah, thanks. Can my in-laws be included in the policy as well?
Yes, definitely. Your in-laws can be included in the super top-up program, not in the term. In the term, it's only you.
Yeah. Can we increase sum insured of super top-up health plan from the last year sum insured?
Yeah, see, that's what I explained when I explained the concept of deductible. Same when you are wanting to increase your sum insured, you are wanting to increase the risk. So you will not be allowed to do that. You would be allowed to continue with your same sum insured and deductible.
I want to take a base plan. This topic is not about base plan, sir. So thank you. Sorry about that. Repeat question. Your top-up available for cashless hospital treatment?
Yes, for both cashless and reimbursement. Both facilities are available. Cashless available from network list. So there's a network list which you'll be able to see on the repository, and their cashless is available there. Almost 10,000 plus hospitals in the cashless network shouldn't be a problem. But in case it happens to be a reimbursement option is also available.
Amrita, no, this does not become your base plan, Amrita. This is only a super top-up plan. It's just that if you don't have a base plan, you pick the lowest deductible, which is 3 lakhs. So
So up to 3 lakhs you pay from your pocket, and beyond 3 lakhs you submit the payment receipt, and this takes care of.
yeah. Also, there's another question, Budayan. Can you increase the sum insured? Even if you increase the deductible, can you increase deductible and sum insured?
Yeah, that's a good question because you are trying to balance the risk. So do try to do it in the portal. If you see that it's not allowing you, write back to us. We will take this up. That should be possible.
Yeah. So if you keep the deductible same as last year, can you increase the sum insured?
No, so you're basically increasing the risk. That's what I said. You have to choose the same sum insured and deductible.
Okay. Can you read the last
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
Budayan, it's a bit long.
Yeah. So I was just reading it that Mr. Sharma says about deductible crossings based on the example Budayan gave. If the deductible is reached with bills for my family, like me, my spouse, and then I apply for the claim for my parents, will he be able to claim on that? So ideally, Mr. Sharma, I explained that if you consider the three buckets, you, your spouse, and kids, that's one bucket of sum insured and deductible. For your parents, between the two parents, somebody has to claim. You need to cross the deductible there, and then you can file the claim. So three separate buckets: sum insured deductible for alumni, spouse, kids, for two parents, and for two parent-in-laws. So the answer to that is you can't. Your parents need to cross the deductible on the separate policy.
Thank you. Can foreign citizens living in India buy the super top-up plan?
Foreign citizen would mean what exactly? मतलब Indian था अभी has become a PIO or something like that. Ideally, foreign citizens who would be in India and would want to claim in India, and they are here for professional work, or they are alumni of your case, then they can pick up. But other than that, this might become complex because foreign citizens will go back to their country, they can't claim it there. Geographical jurisdiction will be India. Correct. Amrita has answered to it. Foreign citizens but OCI holders. That's the correct answer.
Vinay Iyer has a similar question. Can I enroll super top-up just for my parents?
No, Vinay, you can't. You should enroll yourself as well. And please remember that we are also at equal risk as our parents. And the bills that we go into are pretty high because we are working the kind of pressures that we are into. I'll give you a simple example. I have seen umpteen cases now where multiple organ failures are happening starting from age bracket of 30. So let us not underestimate our risk brackets. And at your age, which I presume would be young, a 1 crore straight away. That's it. At a 5 lakh deductible, say. Don't even look below that because nobody else is going to offer you this. Please pick it up now and then stay safe for the rest of the period. That's it.
Pradeep's question, can deductible be paid from some other company's insurance
Yeah.
policy that you have? Yes, you can.
Yeah. That's right.
So OCI holders are eligible for super top-up?
That's right.
That's right. Right. I think we've covered all the questions.
There's two more which is coming, I think.
Does the policy hold for all hospitals, clinics in the country? Is there a list of approved hospitals?
Yeah, Shubham. So there's a network list, which means that you can avail cashless. That's roughly 10,000 plus hospitals. If you go into any hospital, at least it has to be 10 bedded. Please remember that, not smaller than that. In case it's not a network list, you can come back and claim for reimbursement. So ideally, yes, almost all hospitals greater than 10 beds. That's how it is.
What is the claim acceptance rate for super top-up?
The claim acceptance rate for super top-up, if I talk about our alumni insurance program, which is running at other places also, is 100%, I would say. There are some claims which have got rejected because PED wait period was not crossed and we had lodged those claims. So they do not qualify. Anything which was payable has got paid. So term plans maybe now term plan is the first time we have launched. But term plan we have picked up an insurance company, who is revered by IITA very much. They are launching their IPO as well. They had launched their IPO as well shortly. So don't worry. This is a highly regulated industry, highly regulated by Insurance Regulatory Development Authority or IRDA. Even if the insurance company goes defunct, some other insurer has to pick up that portfolio. Like Sahara Life went defunct, and another insurance company came back and picked up the portfolio. So claims will get paid, and that's why there's a watchdog called IRDA in the industry. Don't worry about that.
Is the sum insured by policy year or lifetime claim?
Sum insured is basically the coverage that you would want to get yourself covered for. In the case of super top up, you will not be able to change the sum insured next year. So make a conscious choice of choosing the right sum insured that you would want to. That's how it is. Like I chose 75 lakhs for me in the super top up at a 5 lakh deductible. So
I think the
sum insured
question
chosen is
he's trying to
75.
ask you is that means you are covered for 75 lakhs year after year if you pay your premium year after year. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What is the last date for choosing super top up and term?
The last date is, I think, 15th of August. We will have to come back to you with the correct last date, but don't wait for the last date. Today, if you feel you want to go ahead with it, please do go ahead.
Yeah. All daycare procedures and OPD expenses
Yeah.
covered?
OPD expenses are not covered. OPD means outpatient expenses, which are not part of the hospitalization. They do not stand covered in this program. Daycare procedures are covered. There's a separate daycare list. If you ask for it, we will share it across. So almost all daycares are covered. Don't worry on the daycare part of it.
When will we be allowed to increase the sum insured?
Sandeep, if you have already picked up some sum insured last year, you will not be allowed. If you are picking it up this time, pick up in a way that it covers you for lifelong. That's how you should make the choice.
Can kids who are settled abroad but on visit to India, can they be covered under the super top up?
Yeah, up to 24 years, they can stand to remain covered. They'll have to avail the medical benefits in India.
Kamlesh, yes, if you miss this year enrolling, you can enroll next year. In the same time period, it'll be opened in July, August again. As a US-based OCI and I don't have a base insurance in India, is there a network negotiated charge or is there a preferred network of providers?
So he's asking about the network list. So we've talked about that, Ajit.
Yeah. Ajit, are you asking about the network list of hospitals or of base policies? I'm not sure.
No, so
Checking
he
again,
doesn't
is
have
there a maximum age limit for enrollment of parents into the super top-up?
Yeah, the maximum age limit for enrollment of anybody is up to 85 years, which includes
Pradeep,
parents.
you will not be allowed to increase your sum insured in future. I think we've answered that. So
Correct.
make sure that you choose the correct sum insurance and the deductible thinking about the future in mind. We've passed this time. I hope you were able to answer all of your questions. Somebody asked, how do we clear more doubts? I suggest you get in touch with the Zopa team. The details are on the website. They have a first level, second level, third level, and a fourth level connect. You could also connect with Mohit. Mohit, I request you to share your email if possible, so people can get in touch with you for their questions. Yes, Shankar, after 85, you cannot enroll in our insurance. If you are 80 years and you enroll, then you will be in the scheme till you are alive. But after 85, you won't be able to enroll for you
No,
or
so
your parents.
yeah. So Nishani, I think Shankar is asking that after 85, what happens to this insurance? So after 85, you continue to remain covered every year, lifelong. You have to keep renewing it. That's what Nishani said. Over to you, Nishani.
I'm not able to understand Sandeep's question. Again, he is asking, I'm asking after what time we can increase sum.
You cannot increase your sum insured if you have already chosen it last year. If you are making a correct choice of sum insured this year, and you are not coming in from last year, then please make a conscious choice. You cannot increase your sum insured if you have already chosen last year. I hope we are able to explain.
Is there thanks? Is there any room rent cap, co-payment, sublimit, or any procedures?
Satish, we explained this. I think you would have joined in late. I will reiterate that room rent capping is phenomenal here. In terms of there is no room rent capping. You can get into any kind of room other than suite. Suite is normally the highest category room. Don't get into that, but you can get into any other kind of room. And there is no co-payment and there is no ailment-wise sublimit or ailment-wise capping.
Where can I download the details? Sriram, and again, putting the link for you. It's all available on that link. If you click that link and scroll down, you will see an enrollment button. You can click that, and there are two options available for both the super top-up as well as the term policy for this for IITMAA's alumni scheme.
Yeah, Sriram, I can see your question. You have signed up and paid. Wonderful, fantastic. That's how the spirit should be. You will, if you have declared some PEDs, you would get your insurance policy in 3 to 4 days' time. It should hit your inbox. If you have not declared any PEDs, it should reach you by midnight today. Once the API servers sync, it should reach you. That's how fast we are talking about. If you do not get your policies in the timelines that I have mentioned about, do write back to us. We will get it done for you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you, everybody. It was very nice. A lot of interesting questions, a lot of repetitive questions. I understand it can be a little confusing. Nevertheless, we intend to have more sessions like this with Zopa soon. If you are in Chennai, we will also be having a stall at campus with a few people from the IITMAA team and the Zopa team to be able to clear your doubts and help you enroll as well. If you're having any trouble, you can also request Mohit if he is free. He's put his details there. If he can get in a Zoom call with you to guide you through the session. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Budayan. Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Rakesh, for organizing this and patiently understanding our questions and answering them with a lot of passion and interest. Amrita, we will let you know on when they will be available on campus. Maybe next week of August, first week, maybe they should be available on campus. Yeah, what's the question, Venkat? Trying to sign up?
One last question, trying to sign up. Yeah, I think he's... No problem, Venkat. You can get in touch with us. You have our coordinates. Do get in touch. We'll help you. No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Budayan. We will close
Thank
now.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thanks a
Nishani.
lot.
Thanks
Yeah.
all. Good night. Good night. Thanks, Rakesh.